Thanks, guys. Hikaru, you've been chasing this elusive victory since day one, that last game against Fabi. Finally, you got it. You're now within striking range almost to the leaders. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the result. I think my attitude is very similar to the attitude that Levon has, which is that I just want to be solid and get to the blitz. Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy, all things considered. But, I mean, this Alireza game, obviously, yesterday was quite bad when I missed this bishop b5 move, which was really inexplicable. But today I was able to draw two, and then this final game, I just kept the game going forever, and eventually Prague blundered, and yeah, I got a win, so I'm pretty happy.
Let's talk about this game, and obviously you explained the strategy, but how does it feel? You've had some bad results over the years occasionally. How does it feel when nothing works in your favor? Put yourself in Prague's shoes.
Well, I mean, I think I haven't had a good rapid event here since the pandemic one in 2020. I think 21, 22, and I mean, up until his final round, this 24 edition have all been very bad as far as rapid goes. So I think the main thing is it's very hard because he's already very far behind. But I could tell early on that he was still in his head. He was very unhappy about the previous game, and I don't know if he thought he was winning. He was definitely better, but then it got to the spot where he had to kind of struggle to draw it at the end against Alireza, and just the visual reactions and the body language were not very good from Prague. And I think the main thing though is that it's a long event, and as long as you keep yourself in somewhat decent form, you'll always have a chance if you get red hot in the blitz. And I mean, I don't think that even necessarily applies to like myself or Alireza. I think everybody. If you just, if you get some momentum in the blitz, you can go on a big run. And it just felt like he didn't really have it. And so, yeah, I just kept this game going forever and ever and ever. And yeah, I mean, this was nothing special. Of course, he played symmetrical mostly. Yeah, but the thing that I've noticed about Prague is that he always wants to play chess too. Like that's another important thing. Is that like, I mean, he played something that's very dry and boring. It's very symmetrical, but then he kind of decided to not sort of simplify. He decided to try and keep the game going, and all his decisions were in that spirit. And so, like, even though his position somewhere around here is equal, the game goes on. It doesn't really die the way that it probably should have. I think if he had taken on d4 maybe one or two moves earlier, I would have had to take with the d pawn, and then it's a symmetrical pawn structure, and I mean, there's nothing to play for either side. So I got the sense that he would do this. I mean, I've played him quite a few times recently, and he always tries to find some way to keep the game going. He doesn't want to make the boring draw. And I mean, it's funny because I think Prague and Arjun are the two guys who they always want to play. And it's not even so much that they're not objective, but they have a lot of confidence, and I think they'll win. Whereas I think Gukesh, the other Indian player, there are many situations where you just make the draw, you'd be solid and play, very, very principled from that standpoint. But
which one is the better strategy, or it depends on what type of form you're in?
I think it probably depends on the form. I think for Prague going forward, I mean, he's obviously very young still, but he's going to have to find that ability to just shut it down when things aren't going his way versus continuing to try and press. Right now, of course, it's not an issue. He has many years ahead of him, but I think he'll have to figure that out, especially as it relates to rapid and then even classical. And if he can do that, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. But he wasn't really able to do that today. I mean, this game was always, very, very equal. But I was very happy at some point when he let me. I actually blundered. I was thinking quite a long time about knight e5 here, and for some reason after knight e5, the only line that I really thought about seriously was queen to a4. And as soon as I played this move, I think if he goes queen c8 here, I'm in a lot of trouble. Actually, I am. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed queen c8 because basically what I was aiming for was I was looking at this position, thinking about it conceptually, and if black doesn't have the b5 pawn break here, if there's no b5 pawn break, like that's the only break in the position for black. So as long as I make sure that's not possible, then I start thinking, where do my pieces belong? I can't really play for d4. If I go e4, I create a weakness on the d4 square. And so in my head, I was thinking the one piece that's misplaced here is this knight. And where can this knight go to? So I thought the knight belongs on f2 because right now d3 is very weak. So like that, then I go knight e5, and I was making sure that queen a4 I can go. I think queen a4 I go rook d2, and then I play knight g4, knight f2 on the next two turns. And I thought if I get the knight to f2, then I'm fine. I mean, it's not like it's anything special, but then at least I can try to pretend that I'm playing for more. But as soon as I played knight e5, I kind of realized he has queen c8, which stops the whole knight g4 f2.
Yes.
And then there are ideas like queen e6 and queen f5, and I mean, maybe I'm okay here. But this starts feeling very dangerous for
It's
white.
actually almost feels like an overextended knight now. Queen f5,
yeah, I mean,
f6,
maybe
perhaps.
I can go rook bd2 and just like try to hold, but I'm not playing for anything now.
Yeah.
But then when he went queen a8 and I got knight g4, knight f2, now I knew that, I mean, at the very least, I should always be able to draw this position. Goes here, I play queen c1. Yeah, now he went back. I mean, I don't know if rook e6 was better or not, because after rook e6, I go rook e1, and I didn't see good continuation for black after this. But it's also, it's a very superficial move too. Like, if it doesn't do anything, the rook just looks kind of stupid there. And like, you know, if you get careless and play h5, I think there might even be some e4, rook e3 business. Like, you know, h4, rook e3, queen h5, and then g4. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Yep. It starts getting very complicated, sort of out of nowhere. But then, yeah, he played queen c6, and now, I mean, yeah, I ended up playing this queen e2. I wasn't very happy about this. Somehow I thought that I should be better, or maybe I mistimed it, because after e5, couldn't really figure out what I was supposed to do. I mean, I ended up playing this move, which I think is wrong. I mean, computer, okay, what it wants. It wants takes rook c2, which I saw, but I thought after e4, I mean, I saw some position like this, and somehow I didn't think I could be better here. I've got double e-pawns, I have a weakness on c4, and
yeah.
I didn't really believe in it. Yeah, I mean, I just didn't believe in it, so then I thought, okay, I'll play here. And then again, he took on f4, which is just a terrible move here. I think if he goes rook e8, I mean, takes, I don't know, like takes, rook e2, and I mean, f5, I mean, the structure, he should be completely fine. There should be nothing for white here whatsoever. But then he took on f4, which was also, I think, slightly wrong. I mean, maybe not a big deal, but now after king g2 again, there are little tricks here, because if he plays rook e3, I trade, I take b6, and now the knight on a5 is out of play.
You have the sunnier side of equality.
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised when he did this, but again, I think it comes back to the fact that he's like, at this point, I think he was just unhappy in general, but I felt that he was always looking for some way to keep the game going. He wasn't trying to make the draw. And I mean, maybe that's a little bit of overconfidence on his part, because at this point, if anybody's better, it should be white. But, you know, I played king f7, and then, yeah, I went king f3. Ah, that is wrong. Somehow I let this knight back to c6, and now I just couldn't figure it out. Here, knight e7. Yeah, then I made this repetition. I played a4, a5. Ah, and rook b3 is wrong. Ah.
I guess the engine wants to play knight c3.
I thought he had rook d8 here.
Rook d8, perhaps.
Actually, yeah, I saw this one, right. And I thought knight f5 here. This is actually why I didn't go for it. Knight f5, knight d5, I thought, and then rook d5, I thought. Maybe I'm insane. Oh, I can go to g2. I don't have to go to f2.
You can
go to f2.
Yeah.
I thought king f2, rook h3 was very tricky still.
Now king g1.
And knight d4, and just rook d1.
Yes.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, I mean, for some reason I had this feeling I had it, and then
it does look dangerous.
Yeah.
It does look dangerous. I guess you have to go king h1 or.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fine though, because there's nothing happening here.
Yeah.
This is bad. Yeah, I probably should have done this. And then what did I do? I did something insane. Instead, I played rook b3, and I just blundered. I thought here I could play knight c3, but then he has knight f5, knight d5, rook takes e3, and of course at the end there's knight d4, knight takes b3. Yeah. And it's just, what am I doing? I mean, it's probably not losing, but it's still I'm not on the better side at least. So then I decided to go. So then, yeah, what did I play? Yeah, I played this move to try and be tricky, and then he played f5, which I was also for whatever reason I didn't realize how good it was. I thought he had to play knight c8 here, and then I was going to play like just rook e2 or something and try to just make the draw, but. He played f5, and now I suddenly realize that after knight b4, I have to go rook e2, and I already was a little bit unsure about this, and then he blunders g5.
Peter was saying that after rook d8, actually, you might even be in some danger.
This is what I was worried about. I mean, I wasn't sure whether I would go rook b2 or whether I would play e4, because I mean, both are possible. I mean, e4, knight c6, and then sack the rook, and just try to pretend that I have play. I mean, I think this one's probably a bit too far. I think after rook b2, I'm still probably drawing the game, though, right? Rook b2? Yeah, I'm still saving. Yes. Because, I mean, we get to a rook and pawn endgame. Where, yeah, I mean, rook d3 takes and rook b5, and I mean, this should be a draw, even though the black king is close. King d5, yeah, probably king d5 takes. I don't know, rook a3, but rook a8. I mean, the a pawn should be enough. Should be within the drawing margins. Yeah, should be a draw. But then he played g5, and I mean, he plays his g5 move and just blunders knight c7, and now suddenly it's just game over on the spot. Yeah. So, I mean, you could say it's a little bit of luck, but I think I kind of created my chance by keeping the game going, and probably, I mean, the results before this should have been different, so that's how it goes. 2 points behind the 3 leaders, actually, going into the Blitz portion. Still 18 games to go. You mentioned if anybody can get hot, you can have quite good chances. How are you feeling about your chances? Percentage-wise, put it up there for us. Yeah, so I mean, I think to begin with, a lot of events I play these days, I try to figure out where my strengths are and where the weaknesses are. I mean, there was a recent speed chess championship, for example, that I played in, where I knew that if I keep it close until a bullet, that's where I'm just going to win the match. Now, obviously, Blitz is different than bullet. I mean, I can think I'm one of the best, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to win all your games. But still, I had the feeling that if I keep it within a couple of points in the rapid, I'll have my chances. So I think right now I'm only 2 points back, which is kind of a small miracle, because usually in these Grandchester events, somebody gets red hot in the rapid and has some insane result, whether it's Magnus or Wei Yi or I think Fabian on the last one.
Croatia,
I mean, someone usually gets red hot and they build up a big lead. Or even like when I played here in 22, I think it was Ali Reza who had an amazing rapid performance. So, yeah, I'm a little bit lucky from that standpoint. I think my odds, if I were to give a percentage, I think I think there are probably 3 people who are going to win if they play up to form. So I think I put it at like 30-35%.
Pretty decent. Hikaru?
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations on a good day 3 and good luck tomorrow in the Blitz.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Hikaru. Tell us the standing.